All right, welcome everyone. This is Steve, Top Agent Referral and LUMALLIE Training. This is our weekly training once again. Let's go ahead and get started here. So as you can see, I will be presenting. This is the VP, Viva Purpose weekly training. And today we will be talking about Facebook basics. Now this is the basics of Facebook. It's not going to be super advanced, but there are some people who don't really know a lot about how to set up their accounts to look professional or to include their business and things like that. And so we're going to be covering a little bit of that today. And so most of it might be a little bit basic, as it says, but hopefully you'll get something out of it if you are an experienced Facebook user. So first, let's talk about cover photos. So there's two different photos. You have your profile photo, which is the picture of yourself, and then you have the banner photo. So the profile photo, the displays on this in 2019 displays at 170 by 170 pixels on your page on computers and 128 by 128 pixels on smartphones and 36 by 36 on most feature phones. Okay, so this is important so you know the right sizing, and we're going to get into where you can actually resize things if you need be. So your profile photo, it is a square. So when you go thinking about what photo you want to use, you need to be able to crop it to where it's a square. It looks good as a square. And it is a small image. That way it loads fast and so forth. Then you have the cover photo. Now this is like the banner one across the back or the top, and it looks different on mobile, on different devices. So on your computer, it may look great on your computer, but then you need to look at it on a phone because most people are actually viewing Facebook profiles on phones. Okay, and so the cover photo should be 820 wide by 312 pixels tall on your page, and on computers it's 640 by 360, and also on smartphones. Okay, so those are the dimensions for that banner. Now that all sounds super complicated and fancy and everything, but I'm going to show you how easily you can kind of fix these things. As far as the cover photo, it must be at least 400 pixels wide by 150 pixels tall, or else it won't load. It also loads fastest as an sRGB or a JPEG file that is 851 wide by 315 tall and less than 100 kilobytes. However, the smaller file, you may get some graininess or some fuzziness, and it's just a balance between size of the banner and the size of the file and how quickly you want it to load. Now I have tried putting in some of my other profiles and some of my pages, I've used videos, and I caution you if you try to use a video as your cover photo, because that banner thing up at the top, because it does take a long time to load. You can do it, but I actually would not recommend that. I would recommend using a static image because it loads faster, and a lot of times people just they check out. And I want to show you about adding links in the descriptions for each of those pictures and how you can really leverage that. Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm going to change here to, let's see. So let's swing over here into my, oops, got my things all out of whack here. There we go. Okay, so here is my Facebook profile. And so this is the profile picture I was talking about before. It is a square, and then it'll cut the corners off to make that circle. But some places it views as a square, others it'll view as a circle, but you want to make it to where the picture, your image is in the circle there. Now, what you use, this is really up to you on how professional you want to be or how, friendly and personable. We're going to talk about the uses of your account here a little bit more in just a bit, but maybe you need to freshen up your account and make it look a little bit more professional if you're going to be using it for marketing purposes, trying to build your team, grow your business, right? You can always strike a nice balance and have, more professional looking for these things that everybody sees, and then I'm going to show you how you can modify your posts where maybe you can show people more of your personality and things a little bit later. And also the same thing with the banner. Now, one of the things I'm going to show you, this is the cover photo right up here. You can update it right here. This is if you just hover over your profile picture, you can update that there and then upload a file. For your cover photo, you can see here I've got some information about me and some of the businesses I work for. If I click on this picture, it's going to give me the picture description over here on the right as soon as it loads. And as you can see, I added some information about my businesses. Now, some of you may know I'm an author as well as a coach and an entrepreneur, and I do this business. And so I have my information for my books here with a free sample of that, which is kind of a separate business. But I also have my buyers and sellers. Now, if I do see more, you can see I've got my website, my top agent referral website listed here. And so that's so people can go straight to my website, and I give them a little bit of information about connecting with 2 top agents right here within the picture. Now, I can put on this picture here, when we create the graphic, the cover photo, you can put a excuse me, for more information about my business, click on the picture, and then when it opens, they can see the links here to your website. And that's another way that a lot of people will leverage their um, banner, their cover photo, to be able to draw traffic into their website. And so I'm going to show you how we can edit this cover photo here. So if you go to Canva, each of you should probably have a Canva account, because we've talked about creating those. We're just going to go to the home here. Actually, let me go to my, I think I'm in my other account here. So let me go to, yeah, personal. Yep. So I'm going to go to my personal account. Right now I'm on the Luke's team account. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, which one you started in. It's fine. But so if you go here, you have some templates. And so if I click on templates, it's going to, oops, I don't even have to do that. Just straight from the home, you can see Facebook cover right here. So if I click on Facebook cover, well, it went ahead and loaded templates. Let me go back to the home. You can also search in templates for it, but you see right here where it says Facebook cover. If we click on the Facebook cover here, it's already going to load that correct dimensions for that cover photo. And so you can just build one right here in Canva. And so you'll see once this loads, sorry, my internet's a little bit slow this morning. But this is going to be the proper dimensions. Now you can use some of these pre-made templates to start off if you'd like, but I'm going to just go ahead and start with this blank one here, and I'm going to go to some pictures that I've uploaded. I'm just going to show you how to make one real quickly, and so it's not going to be super special. Okay, so I don't have, let's say I wanted to use this picture here. I don't, but I'm just going to try and show you how to make one here. So one thing I want you to remember, whenever you make this, you can just drag the corners here. And so that would be a picture there. This isn't a great picture to use. One of the things you need to remember though is that your there we go. Your picture is going to be right over here, and on a mobile phone, it's going to put it right in the middle. So you need to keep those things in mind. You need to look at it when you're done. So you can drag a picture over. You can change the background here. I'm going to change the background to a. Let's just make it a blue. Let's do this right here, maybe. I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take this picture and actually shrink it down so that it fits over on this one side. So you can do something like this and then go ahead and take and drag over. I'm going to drag over my top agent referral here, and it made it huge. And so, oops, I'm just going to back that out. There we go. Drop it like that. And then I'm going to shrink it so it'll fit. And so you can do a top agent referral here. We can go either side. Let's put this over here, actually. No, I'm going to put it on this side. Top agent referral, right? And so you got the top agent referral logo up there. Let's go ahead and shrink this a little bit. And so you can, I'm not going to get real fancy with this, but you can do that right there. And then I could go ahead and put in some text and choose, I'm going to choose the subheading so it's not huge here. And I'm going to say, free service for buyers and sellers. Now you're going to want to get better wording than this, but I'm just going to put this over here just to show you how this works. So, there we go. And let's change that color to white so we can see it. Free service for buyers and sellers. And I'm going to add a box here so it looks like a button. So you can take a shape similar to this right here, and we'll just stretch this. Oops, that's not what I want. I don't want a circle. I want see all. I need an oval or a rectangle. This would be good here. So let's take this and drop this over here. And we're just gonna take and shrink it this way. here. And so I can just take this right here and make it look like a button. And I can say text and say, do another subheading, click here. Right, and so I'm going to take that and put that over the top. And so now it looks like a button. So now what happens is, if I were to put this as my banner, my cover photo, then I would have this free service for buyers and sellers, click here, right? And so on my, oops, let me come back over here. So if I install that as my banner here, I would have that click here button. I would click on that button and it would load the image like this, and I would have the write-up over here where I can put the link to my website just like this. Okay, and you can put buyers and sellers, connect with 2 top agents, referrals always appreciated. You could also put in there, if you're interested in getting into real estate, click here. I'm actually going to amend this and add some information about doing the business. So if you want to join my business and connect, get into the real estate, the $2 billion real estate industry, I'm going to put that information here as well, so that then I can also recruit for buyers and sellers. So I will edit that when I get done with this webinar, but with this training. So that's another way that you can update your profile. So that covers your cover photos, both the profile picture and the cover photo. So that's a way to really spice it up and use it more for driving traffic to your website, as well as getting buyers and sellers, is use those links. I didn't show you, but I also have links on my profile picture. If you click on my profile picture, when that comes up, it's got additional information. This is actually, I need to update this for my top agent referral because it's still back with my book only. And so I'm going to add my top agent referral information there as well. So that's another way, like I said, you can drive traffic, because when people look at your profile picture, then they see all that information as well. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, let's go back to here. And so that was the cover photos. Got all that information there. And so you can watch this on the replay if you need to get this information and write it down. I do want to show you these 2 places. So canva.com, I showed you how we used that to be able to create that cover photo. You can also try and use it for your profile picture, but another way is, if you have an image that you want to use that you like about, of yourself, you can use this Resizing.app. This link right here is an online application where you can edit the size of photos and make it the right pixel size. Now it's going to trim it to be whatever you need, but that's a way, because if you have a picture that's way too big and Facebook won't accept it or something like that, you can shrink this file size and get it down to the right dimensions and things using the Resizing.app program. So those are 2 different ways you can get in to adjust those photos. So now that you have a professional presence, which you are going to want to have a professional presence if you're going to use this to reach out to people and try and recruit them into your business, as well as buyers and sellers, you want to present yourself professionally at least sometimes. Now, I realize that most people have their Facebook profile and they use it as what it's supposed to be, social networking, right? And social media. And so you're just trying to use it to keep in contact with friends and family and things like that. But using it for business is super powerful. So now we're going to talk about that left column. And this is all the information about you. Now, this is the stuff that you share publicly to people, right? You don't have to. You can turn the settings on and off, but this is a great way to market yourself as far as a professional when you're going to try to reach out to people. And if they're going to research you a little bit, one of the first places they're going to go, the easiest place to go and find information about you, is your Facebook page. And so if you have a professional presence, at least to the public, you could have a private presence that's for your friends and things, that's a little bit more casual and such. But if you have a professional presence for your public, it really can help sell you as somebody they might want to work with or join into your business. So we're going to look at the intro, the details, which shows your work history, your schooling, your location, social profiles, and links, as well as featured photos and life events. And so let's take a look at that real quick. So we're just going to go down that left column. These are all of the information that's included in that, and I'm just going to break it down for you here using my profile. So if you look here, scrolling down, you have the intro. Now your intro, it's a little bio, and it's probably pretty short, okay? So I can click on the edit bio here to edit this. I actually maximized exactly how many characters. I forget how many characters it is, but it is pretty short. So you need to be very concise in what you're trying to say here. And so I like to add emojis. I don't know if you know how to add emojis, but um, if you just right click or two finger click or whatever it is, you can click on emoji symbol right here and it will bring up the full emojis, and you can even do arrows and stars and bullets and all kinds of different things depending on your computer which settings you have turned on. um, but you can get into all kinds of different objects and different things, and that's how I got the books and the money bag, the free resource, and the fingers. I love using fingers. They really do draw attention, pointing down, pointing up, pointing to the side, those things. So I like to use those a lot. I think they help catch the eye and really draw people in. But that's, you can just insert emojis, but don't go overboard. I think that you need to strike a nice balance. I've seen people just go emoji nuts, and I feel like it takes away from the message a lot of times. And then we get into the details. So these details, you can decide what is shared and what is not. So if you click on Edit Details, you should have your current work at Top Agent Referral on there. So be it member, Top Agent Referral, or Top Agent Referral sales representative, or something along those lines. Put that information in there. Let people know you work with Top Agent Referral, because that's how you're going to link them. I also have my other businesses in there, and as you can tell, I took off one of them. You can add a workplace or you can take them away. You can also edit what you call them here, and so you can see that'll go right into my work and education. And so I don't want to edit though. So let's go back here and let's look at these. So I have my current work history, right? I also have where I went to school, just because a lot of people, I reconnected with people I went to school with, especially high school. I don't have my college on here, but I reconnected with a lot of my high school friends. And so that way they're like, oh yeah, this is the Steve I went to school with. Where I'm from and where I live, because people know me from both places. And then I have my Instagram link right here for my official Instagram page. And so that way people can follow me on Instagram as well. And then I have a couple of links. Now you can add your website links. This one here is for my book, and then this one's for my Top Agent Referral website. I strongly recommend adding your Top Agent Referral website to this details section right here. Drive more traffic to your site. Make it easy for people to find you, your service, and your business. Then the next thing down is the featured images. Okay, and now once again, so I have my book, because like I said, I'm an author, as well as my picture for when it comes to adding income to your household. For your family, do you keep your options open? Learn how. So if you click on this image, once again, I have added the information. Referrals are always appreciated, and it says send me a message, and I have a link to my site. Now I might actually go back and edit this again to add the maybe the calls. I think I'm going to edit this to add the calls, the new 800 number, or sorry, the new recorded messages, as well as a register for my webinar. So I think I'm going to add both of those in here, as well as the send me a message. So that way I can drive traffic and people to my webinars and hopefully get them in the business. All right, and then it just goes into photos and friends and things. So that is the left-hand column. Like I said, I highly recommend you update that information for business purposes so that people can get to know you a little bit and know about your business. Okay, so that's to get your profile looking professional. All right, so now that we've got it looking somewhat professional, where do we go from there? So let's get through this one here. So you're going to update your work history, your schooling, your location, your social profiles, links. Now we're going to go to our friends list, okay? So you can create lists to choose who sees what content. And so this is very powerful. A lot of people have asked me, do I need to create a Facebook page, a business page? You can. However, that is another place that you're going to need to update, and then you have to try and get people to like that page and follow that page. Whereas if they're your friends and if they are your personal people, you want to market to them as well and remind them that referrals are appreciated and have them see your business stuff as well as your personal stuff. And so honestly, I think that making a page can take away. There are reasons why you would want to, especially if you wanted to do some Facebook ads and things like that, but that's a whole nother level, and that's additional cost, where you can do free marketing through your profile. And so creating lists is a way to filter out that content. So if you have professional people that you don't want to share your crazy antics with, your wild weekend with, you filter out who sees those posts and those messages, okay? And so by creating a list, you can do that. And so you can do personal posts. You can post pictures of your kid's birthday party. I know a lot of people are really worried about the security of their children. And so they're like, well, I don't use Facebook because I don't like it, putting my information out there for, people to threaten my children or whatever. You can modify who sees what content, and so that's why you need to create lists if you're worried about those type of things. As well as, like I mentioned, if you get kind of wild and crazy and you don't want people to see that wild side of you, you can filter out and have, this is my professional front for my public, and then I have my close friends or my special groups that I share these other posts with. Professional posts, maybe you can even set up lists for, I want to share things that are industry specific, but they aren't to the public and they aren't to my private people, but they are to the people within my group, my team. I only want them to see this. You could set up a team group, right, for the people on your LUMALLIE team, something like that. Or the professional post could be, these are my my insurance agents that I am trying to get referral business from, so this is marketed to them. Things along those lines, okay? Then you have team posts. Like I said, you can set up a group for team, etc. So, okay, my kids are in soccer. I can set up a post for soccer. And so, yeah, not everybody wants to see a million pictures of the soccer games, but those soccer moms, they all want to see everybody's pictures. Hey, share them, right? And so this is a way to kind of keep things segregated and not blast people out. However, I would say keep sending your referrals, your connecting buyers and sellers, even your are you interested in getting in the business posts to everybody, because that's how you're going to grow your business. You want to remind people that you're in the business, and even if they are not interested in getting the business themselves, they may know somebody else who is. All right, so also you can do the same thing in the messaging side of things. You can create lists and choose who sees which content. You can do personal posts, um, professional post, team post, the same thing with your, going back, with your messaging list, okay? So let's take a look at that real quick. We're gonna go through that, and so here we go, escape. So when you come down to your friends down here, right? Actually, let's go to your home page. If you just go to your home page, this is the easiest way to do it. Not from your profile, but from your home page. On the side over here, you'll see friends lists, okay? So if I click on friends lists, I have created a number of lists right here. And so you can see, so if I create a new list, so I'm just gonna call this, I'm gonna call this team training. And so who would you like to add to this list? So let's say I'm gonna add my team members. So Gus is one of my team members, Sandra, and I can go through all of these things. Roxanne, okay, so, and I can just go and I can add everybody on my team, right? So I'm not going to do it right now, but I could create all these different people. And so this is just showing you how a list works. And so if I click on this list, so it just went right into that list. But if I go back here and I click on that team training list, it's only going to show me posts from the people who are in that list. Right? So I can filter all of these posts are my people who are added to this list. And then if I create a post right here, you can see as soon as it comes up that the news feed is only going to be to the people on that list. So it will not show in the feed of anybody who's not on this list. These posts are only going to show to people on this list. And so that's how you can say, you can make yourself a wild weekend group, right? And so if you have your friends list here, create list, and I can say like my crazy life, right? Will be the name of this one. Now I could add my wife, right? She can see those. Or maybe I don't want her to see my wildlife. I don't know. I can add Luke. Luke's always in for a good time, right? I can add all these people, and then I can hit create. And then when I go to this my crazy life list, all I'm going to see is posts from my wife and Luke, as well as if I post here, the only people who are going to see this post are going to be the people who are in the My Crazy Life list. All right, so that's how you can choose. Or you can choose to do public. This is if you put it on your story, and I'm not going to put it on my story, but that's how you choose in your news feed how to segregate and only show to certain people. Okay, so let's go back to my regular feed. If I, or actually, leave this page. If I go to the home page here, you have limited options. If you try and do a post here, right, and you just do a create post on your regular home page, it's taking a second to load. When I click on the drop down here, I have public, I have friends, friends accept, only me, or if I do more, it will give me some options. So not all of them though. It only gives you a few of your groups as an option for, where'd it go? It's because it's trying to load here. Okay, there we go. If I click on more and I click on see all, there we go. It's being hidden down here. So you can see it brings up some of my recent ones, My Crazy Life team training, but it doesn't show me all of my lists. It only shows me a handful of them. Okay, so if the list that you want to post to is not in this list, then you have to go through the friends list down here and go straight into that list, and then it will come up. It's only showing my most recent ones up here, is what that is. Okay, but you can do it from this front page here. You just have to remember when you go to post, oops, cancel, I'm getting click happy. When you go to post, whether you want it public to everyone, and so anything that is buyers and sellers, anything that is join my business, I would put those as public for everyone, because like I said, you want your friends, you want your family to see those posts. And then if you have pictures of your kids or you have your wild crazy life, then you can filter it into those other groups and just post to them. So that's how you can kind of use your personal profile for business as well. However, like I said at the beginning, I would make sure you try to make it a, sorry, I need to get rid of this here. I would try to make the initial appearance here to be more professional. All right, I want where your picture is professional and your banner and stuff is professional. But then you can use that to market to those people and post things about what you're doing in your business. They also want to see, hey, I just made a ton of calls. I'm having a great day, or those types of things. Or I love helping clients. Talk to this guy today. So all of those different things, make sure you put those out publicly. Those will really help show your business, as well as like I post a lot of these what's holding you back and these like inspirational things. Okay, so that's Facebook. um, I do want to make sure that you understand Facebook is a tool, and as good and as bad. You can get sucked into non-IPA activity on Facebook. Okay, and so be careful with that. You can waste a lot of time there. However, you can use it for free marketing, because that's where you are probably interacting with most people through Facebook, more so than you are in a number of other ways. You can also do posts where, as you, I don't know if you saw here, but I have, I don't know if this tells me here, somewhere it does. Um, I have 1,051 friends. So I can put a post out about my business and have a chance at having all 1,051 people see that post, versus how many times am I going to have to pick up the phone to try and call those people, right? Now, it doesn't take away from phone calls. Phone calls are way more um, effective. Meeting with people in person and having a direct conversation is way more effective, but this is a way that I can really broadcast my business and get out there and really. And then the other thing is they can share that message with other people. So Facebook is a great tool, but once again, it is a tool, and you don't want to get trapped in non-income producing activity. So here's some action items for you. Update your Facebook profile and page, right? So that whole profile page and all of that, update your lists, set up your appropriate groups, those friends lists. You can do the same thing in Messenger. You can create a list with certain people if you want to do groups within Messenger, or you can send individual messages to each person. But if you want to do like a blast, you can do that to a big group, but know that everybody in the group then is able to talk back and forth. And so that's kind of the downside of doing that. I like to do more individual messages. There are some applications out there that will allow you to send kind of broadcast messages individually. That helps you out, but you can do some research on those. It's more effective if you make personal messages anyway, but set up appropriate groups. The third task item for you, action item this week, is once again to invite X number of people to the webinar this week. And again, I would recommend 10 times as many as you want to join your team this week. So if you only want one person to join your team this week, you want to try and add one person every week. That's 52 members a year. Your team would have 52 team members in a year if you did one each week. But in order to get one each week, you're going to have to invite at least 10 people to the webinar to try and get that one person to show up. And then how many people that actually show up to the webinar are going to join your team. So you got to play those numbers out. I would recommend trying to invite 20 to 30 people a week to your webinar if at all possible. You saw I have 1,000 people in my Facebook page, and that's not even trying, right? That's not even counting who's in my phone and different things like that. So I would invite 30 people directly, contact them directly, actually have a conversation with them directly, make sure you hear back from them, not just leave a voicemail for them. You can leave a voicemail for them, but make sure you've talked to 10 times the number of people you want to come to your webinar this week. Also, reconnect or connect with X number of people from your contacts. And I just went over Facebook today. And again, I would recommend 10 times as many people as you want to use the top agent referral service this week. So you want buyers and sellers, you want clients. You need to let people know you're in the business. You need to let people know you offer that service. Have a conversation with them and say, hey, I've got this great service. I want to make sure you're aware of it. So when it comes time to buy or sell a home, you use me and use my service so I can get you the best deal on your home. Because a lot of times what's going to happen is if you don't let them know ahead of time, they're going to already be contacting an agent, already be working with an agent by the time you talk to them. So contact 10 people, 10 times as many people as you want to use your service. So if you want to do one deal this week, then I would say talk to at least 10 people to hopefully get one. And a lot of times it's even more than that. And so I multiply it out. I talk to as many people as possible. But you got to start somewhere. And so make yourself a list. Say, this is how many I'm going to talk to this week. Hold yourself accountable to it. And also get an accountability partner. Use your upline, your sponsor, and report back to them and say, hey, I talked to my 10 people this week. This was my results. Or I kind of slacked off this week and I didn't get it done. It doesn't take that long. Just takes a few minutes a day, and you can make those calls or send those messages and connect with those people. All right, so hopefully you guys can take those action items this week, and that's all good to go. At this point, questions and discussions, make sure you leave me a comment down below. I'm going to be looking for a different time, I think, for the live training to try and get a little bit better attendance. Hopefully we can make it to where more people can show up. I know there's some conflicts, so, but discussion, let's go ahead and have that discussion. Leave a comment down below. Let me know you viewed it. Let me know your thoughts, your Facebook. Let me know your profile is all set up or updated, and I'll come check it out and say, hey, this is what I would change, or hey, I love what you've done here or there. So make sure you get that set up, and yeah, let's start the discussion, and let me know any questions you may have. Love to help you out. So that's the end of the training today. Make sure you take those action items, go out there and build your business. I'm so happy you're on my team.